Your heart is heavy with a guilty conscience. But that's only because you don't know the truth about what you're really feeling. Archangel Michael has an urgent message specifically for you today. That crushing weight in your chest, the constant worry that you've done something wrong, the sleepless nights filled with regret. These feelings aren't what you think they are. You've been carrying shame and guilt that doesn't even belong to you. Archangel Michael is watching over you right now, and he sees exactly what's happening. The blue flashes of light you sometimes see, the sudden warmth in your chest when you're alone, the dreams where you feel completely peaceful. These are all signs he's been sending to comfort you. He wants you to know that this heavy feeling in your heart is actually evidence of your pure soul, not proof of your wrongdoing. The divine realm has guided you to this message, because it's time for this burden to be lifted from your shoulders. What you're about to discover will change everything about how you see yourself. The guilt you've been carrying isn't a sign of your corruption, it's proof of your beautiful, sensitive heart that cares too much about others. Archangel Michael has revealed something shocking about the guilt you've been carrying. Someone very close to you has been secretly transferring their shame and guilt onto your shoulders. This isn't something that happened by accident, it's been a pattern happening for much longer than you realize. This person has made you feel responsible for their problems, their emotions, and even their mistakes. Every time they feel bad about something they've done, they find a way to make you feel like it's somehow your fault. They use subtle manipulation. That's so clever you don't even notice it happening. Your empathetic, caring nature made you the perfect target for this emotional transfer. While they walk away feeling lighter, you're left carrying the heavy burden of guilt that rightfully belongs to them. This person has trained you to apologize constantly, to walk on eggshells around their moods, and to feel responsible for keeping everyone happy. They've convinced you that when things go wrong, it must be because of something you did or didn't do. The crushing weight you feel isn't just your own conscience. You're actually carrying their unresolved shame and guilt on top of your own. Natural sensitivity. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that this guilt, manipulation has been poisoning your peace of mind and stealing your joy. The heaviness in your heart is proof that you're carrying emotional baggage that was never meant to be yours. Now, you need to recognize the clear signs that show you've been carrying other people's guilt. Do you find yourself apologizing even when you've done absolutely nothing wrong? This constant need to say sorry is a learned response from someone who has trained you to feel responsible for everything that goes wrong. You take responsibility for other people's moods and reactions. Feeling anxious whenever someone around you is upset, even when their problems have nothing to do with you. You've become an expert at making excuses for other people's bad behavior toward you, always finding ways to blame yourself instead of holding them accountable. Notice how you constantly second guess your own memory of events. Someone has been rewriting your reality, making you doubt what you actually experienced. You feel guilty for setting boundaries or saying no to requests, as if taking care of yourself is somehow selfish or wrong. The phrase, "you made me feel," gets used against you regularly. Others blame you for their emotional reactions, making their feelings your responsibility. You've been trained to believe that other people's happiness depends on your actions, and when they're unhappy, it must be your fault. You feel guilty for being happy when others around you are struggling, as if your joy somehow takes away from theirs. The emotional exhaustion you experience comes from constantly trying to fix everyone else's problems and carry their emotional burdens. Even your physical health has suffered from this constant stress. Headaches, tight chest, trouble sleeping. These are all signs your body is reacting to carrying guilt that isn't yours to bear. Archangel Michael wants you to understand the beautiful truth about who you really are. Your heart is actually pure and loving. The guilt you feel is proof of your compassionate nature, not evidence of your wrongdoing. Souls like you are naturally empathetic, which means you absorb the emotions of others without even realizing it. This deep sensitivity you have is actually a spiritual gift, not a weakness or flaw. You're what the divine realm calls a natural healer and light worker. People are drawn to your energy because being around you naturally cleanses their emotional pain and guilt. Without knowing it, you've been serving as an emotional sponge for everyone around you. The heavy feeling in your chest comes from carrying emotions that were never meant to be yours. Your spiritual sensitivity makes you feel others' guilt as if it were your own. This is why the weight feels so overwhelming. You're not just dealing with your own conscience, but the unresolved shame of multiple people. Archangel Michael reveals that your conscience is actually too pure, not corrupted. You feel guilty about things that normal people wouldn't even think twice about. This extreme sensitivity to right and wrong is a sign of your advanced spiritual development, not a character flaw. The divine realm has been watching over you, knowing that your caring heart needed special protection from those who would take advantage of your natural empathy and use it against you. Archangel Michael is offering his powerful spiritual intervention to lift this false guilt from your heart right now. He brings the purple flame of transmutation, a divine energy that burns away all shame and guilt that doesn't belong to you. Begin each morning with this simple declaration: I release all guilt that is not mine to carry. I return all borrowed emotions to their rightful owners. Visualize yourself standing in front of each person who has made you feel guilty for their problems. In your mind, hand back to them all the emotional baggage they've placed on your shoulders. Watch as heavy, dark energy leaves your body and returns to where it came from. Feel the immediate lightness this brings to your chest and heart. Create a weekly salt bath ritual to cleanse, absorb negativity from your energy field. As you soak, imagine all false guilt dissolving away like dirt washing off your skin. Say this boundary prayer: Archangel Michael, protect my empathetic heart from manipulation. Let me feel compassion without absorbing others' pain. You'll know this divine intervention is working when you notice these signs: the heavy feeling in your chest beginning to lift, sleeping better at night, thinking more clearly about situations, and feeling less anxious about other people's reactions. Carry a piece of amethyst crystal with you. This stone specifically protects against guilt manipulation and emotional manipulation. When someone tries to make you feel guilty, touch your amethyst and mentally place Archangel Michael's protective shield around your heart. Each evening before bed, practice this release. Any guilt I absorbed today that is not mine, I now release. Back to the universe. My heart is clear and peaceful. Many people report feeling immediate relief and sleeping peacefully after using this simple practice consistently. Even if you have made some real mistakes in your life, Archangel Michael wants you to understand that they don't define your worth or your character. There's an important difference between learning from your errors and punishing yourself endlessly. The excessive guilt you've been carrying actually blocks your ability to make positive changes and grow spiritually. Forgiveness isn't selfish indulgence, it's a spiritual necessity for your healing and growth. The divine realm extends unlimited mercy and forgiveness, and you must learn to offer the same compassion to yourself. When you keep punishing yourself for past mistakes, you're actually rejecting the forgiveness that heaven freely offers. Replace the voice of self-criticism in your mind with self-compassion. Instead of, I'm terrible for making that mistake, try, I'm human and I'm learning. I choose to do better now. This shift in internal dialogue immediately begins healing the wounded places in your heart. Understand that guilt serves its spiritual purpose when it motivates you to make positive changes. But once you've learned the lesson and committed to doing better, continuing to carry guilt becomes harmful rather than helpful. Archangel Michael shows you that excessive self-punishment actually dishonors the growth you've achieved. When you forgive yourself for your own mistakes, it becomes much easier to release the false guilt others have placed on you. Self-forgiveness opens your heart to receive divine love and healing. The lightness and peace that come when guilt transforms into wisdom allows you to serve others from a place of love rather than obligation or fear. Archangel Michael wants to teach you how to identify people who use guilt as a weapon so you can protect your sensitive heart. These manipulators often use phrases like, if you really loved me, you would ... or, I guess I'll just suffer alone since no one cares. They make their problems sound like emergencies that only you can solve. Watch for people who always seem to have a crisis when you're happy or succeeding. They guilt you into believing that your joy somehow causes their pain. They're experts at making you feel selfish for taking care of your own needs or pursuing your own goals. Guilt manipulators target empathetic souls like you because they know you'll absorb their emotional pain. They sense your natural desire to help and heal others, then exploit this beautiful quality for their own benefit. Learn to set boundaries without taking responsibility for their emotional reactions. Use the broken record technique. Calmly repeat your position without explaining or justifying it repeatedly. I understand you're upset, but my decision remains the same. Don't get drawn into lengthy explanations that give them more ammunition for guilt trips. When someone tries to make their problems your responsibility, respond with compassion but firm boundaries. I care about you, and I believe you're capable of handling this situation. This acknowledges their feelings without accepting false responsibility. Create emotional distance from chronic guilt trippers by limiting your availability. You don't have to be the solution to everyone's problems. Building relationships with people who respect your boundaries shows you what healthy connections feel like. When this heavy guilt finally lifts from your heart, you'll be amazed at the energy and joy that returns to your life. Your natural sensitivity becomes a gift rather than a burden when you learn to use it consciously instead of letting others exploit it. You can still serve and help people, but now you do it from love and choice rather than obligation and guilt. The peace that comes from taking responsibility only for your own actions is extraordinary. You no longer carry the weight of everyone else's emotions and mistakes. Your relationships actually improve when they're built on honesty and mutual respect. Instead of guilt and manipulation, your empathetic abilities become powerful tools for healing when you learn to help others without absorbing their pain. You can offer compassion and support while maintaining healthy energetic boundaries. This allows you to be truly helpful instead of becoming emotionally drained. The spiritual growth that happens when you stop carrying false shame is remarkable. You develop genuine confidence based on knowing your own worth rather than constantly seeking approval from others. Living authentically without constant self-doubt opens doors to opportunities you never imagined possible. Your freed energy can now go toward your true purpose and passions, instead of being drained by guilt and worry. The lightness in your heart allows divine guidance to flow more clearly, showing you the path to your highest potential and deepest fulfillment. Archangel Michael stands ready to lift this crushing burden from your heart right now, but you must choose to accept his divine intervention. The importance of taking action today cannot be overstated. This sacred energy window won't remain open indefinitely. Your freedom from false guilt serves not just you, but everyone in your life who has been affected by your emotional heaviness. When you stop carrying others' shame and guilt, something powerful happens. They're forced to deal with their own healing instead of dumping their problems on you. This liberation is actually part of your spiritual mission on earth. You're meant to be a beacon of light, not a dumping ground for other people's emotional garbage. The ripple effect of your healing will touch your family, friends, and community in ways you can't even imagine yet. Free from false guilt, you'll finally be able to share your true gifts with the world. Show your deep appreciation for this divine intervention by giving super thanks up to $20. Your contribution helps maintain the powerful energy bridge between the divine realm and your earthly experience, allowing Archangel Michael to continue providing protection and guidance as you step into this new chapter of guilt-free living. Your heart was meant to be light and free. Today, that freedom begins.